Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, I'm going to be talking about one of the most unique British bands from the last 20, 30 years. And yes, I am talking about Stereolab. Now, what does Stereolab sound like? It's hard to describe. Imagine the Beatles, It's All Too Much. Add in some Can, the German band. Add in some French girl pop from the mid to late 60s. Throw in some post-punk. Throw in some art rock. Throw in, it's just crazy. I mean, it's music from the past and the future brought to us in the present. It's just 100% amazing. There's lounge in there. But to me, ultimately, they are a pop band. They are not a traditional pop band. They are not a formulaic pop band, but they create wonderful melodies. Now, there's so many members, but I'm trying to make this video short, but I will tell you that Tim Gain, formerly of the band McCarthy, is the sort of sound architect, the sculptor of their sound, the sculptor of the songs. And I know I'm going to mispronounce her name many times during the show. Laetitia Sadier from France. She's the vocalist, and it's beautiful. And there have been other members that contributed a lot, like, say Andy Ramsey, even Sean O'Hagan from the High Llamas, and the late, great Mary Hansen, who passed away in 2002. She was such a great counterpoint to Laetitia vocally, and it was just wonderful. She added so much to the band's sound. I usually like to tell you how I got into the band, and that's basically the NME. I was reading about some singles that came out by Stereolab, and I knew that I wanted to hear them. Now, before I start talking about their catalog, I wanted to tell you right now that a brand new Switched On Stereolab Volume 4 is available, and I'm celebrating that now by going through their catalog. So I will get to that at the end of this video, and I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. I got into Stereolab 1992 with their debut album. I knew that they had a few singles out, but they were really hard to get here in the US. But I got this. The sound blew my mind. I didn't know what I was listening to. Like I said, it's the past, it's the future in the present. It's amazing. It was exhilarating. It was scary. It was challenging. It was beautiful. It was lovable. Letitia's voice is great. Tim Gain was creating this great music, and it was just fantastic. Then later that year came the album Switched On Stereolab, which was a collection of their earlier singles that they had released before the Peng album. And this was just as exciting, a little more raw, but still wonderful, challenging pop. See, I consider them a pop band, and I don't know if anybody else does. Well, they had a release that really blew people's minds in 1993. It's called Space Age Bachelor Pad Music, and this is it. This actually came out in the U.S. Then the U.S. audiences totally caught on to Stereolab, and it was just an EP, but it was wonderful nonetheless. The melodies were just leaping out of the speakers. Like I said, unique and strange and odd and wonderful. Later in 1993, they released the album Transient Random Noise Bursts with Announcements. Yeah, that's a mouthful. And here is a deluxe version that is now available. It's a 2 CD version, and you get tons of bonus tracks, and it's really worth your time. Mars Audiate Quintet came out in 1994. Yet another 2 CD edition featuring wonderful bonus tracks. Another wonderful release. It shows the band, they're not changing, they're growing, which is evolving, which is really fantastic. Now, some of the singles and non-album EPs were compiled on Refied Ectoplasm, Switched On Volume 2. And this more singles and rarities, absolutely amazing. Then the next album had one of the best album titles ever, Emperor Tomato Ketchup. And this is, of course, another 2 CD deluxe edition that you need to own because it has stuff that you don't have, even if you have all the other Stereolab recordings. This is absolutely stellar. A wonderful album, as I said, evolving, and just the beauty in the melodies and the beauty in the music. Even if it's aggressive, it's just really something special. Their next album was 1997's Dots and Loops, another deluxe edition here, 2 CD set. This is stunning. They went, I believe they went from recording, on analog to recording digital, creating another unique, wonderful. I mean, the songs would just go in one direction, and in mid-song just change course and become something entirely different. And it was beautiful because as a listener, you sat back and you didn't know where Stereolab was headed. Even if you were familiar with their sound, you didn't know where the songs were going to take you until they took you there. And I'll tell you, Dots and Loops, incredible album. Now, the next release in the Switched On series was Aluminum Tunes, and this is a 2 CD set. This is the third compilation of rarities and singles and stuff. Now, all the Switched Ons that I've talked about, volumes 1 through 3, can be found in a box set called Switched On volumes 1 through 3. And it's another great release. Oh Lord, here comes something else good. Cobra and Phases Group play Voltage in the Milky Night. Came out in 1999. Another expanded edition. If you don't have these expanded editions, you need these expanded editions. Even if you have everything else, you need these. If you've never heard Stereolab, you've never heard anything like Stereolab. Trust me on that. 2001, out comes the album Sound Dust. Another expanded edition that you need to get. 2 CDs. Glory, Hallelujah, and another fine collection of songs. The next release was ABC Music, the Radio 1 Sessions. I don't have it, but I'll get it eventually. 2004, out comes the wonderful, lovable Margarine Eclipse. And this actually is also a double CD, full of great, wonderful tracks, bonus material. Fantastic. Again, here we go. I have constipation of the brain and diarrhea of the mouth, and I don't know how to pronounce anything unless it's spelt C-A-T. But Oscillons from the Anti-Sun, I guess is how you pronounce that. This is actually a box set, 3 CDs and a DVD, and this compiles songs from 8 of their EPs and singles, and it's got unreleased material, and the DVD has promo videos and TV appearances. And I hate to say it again, you need it in your collection, even if you have everything else, because everything here is going to have something you're missing. There's stuff I don't even own, so there's stuff I'm missing. 2006 gave us Fab 4 Suture, which collects singles and B-sides that were released between 2005 and 2006. And it's a great little collection. This is not a 2 CD thing. This is your normal single disc. But you know what? If you want to just try Stereolab, I would maybe recommend Dots and Loops or Emperor Tomato Ketchup or Space Age Bachelor Pad Music, or you can get Serene Velocity, a Stereolab anthology, which is a single disc that came out on Elektra. And this is, pretty much a best of. I don't know if the band was 100% behind this, but I do know that if you want to give the band a shot, give them a chance, try them out to see what I'm talking about, this is a release that you should jump on. 2008, out comes their album Chemical Chords. This is another, it shows them evolving, shows them experimenting. And, at the core, they're definitely Stereolab, but everything changes and everything evolves. Sometimes the music changes and evolves with each listen. So you can listen to something today, and 3 days from now, you'll hear it in a whole new light because you already know what to expect. Your mind starts searching out and discovering these little hooks that the keyboard or the guitar makes. It's fantastic. Now, the band, as far as I know, they are on hiatus, but the sessions that gave us Chemical Chords also gave us the album Not Music. If this is just cast-offs, sorry, all you other bands, Stereolab cast-offs are better than the stuff you guys put out on your albums. And like I said, the band has been on a recording hiatus for at least 10 years, I think. But just recently, out came this wonderful 2 CD set called Electrically Possessed, Switched on Stereolab Volume 4. And this collects the rarities and releases between 1999 and 2008. So stuff on this is not on the other Switched Ons, and you're going to find more great stuff to discover here. Stereolab, one of the most unique bands you are ever going to experience. They are pop, but they aren't pop. They are art pop. They are avant pop. They're experimental. They're moody. They're lounge. They're krautrock. They're everything that you want them to be and so much more. I'm sorry I didn't delve too deep into their catalog. I just wanted to get through this and let you know that there's this great band that you need to discover. And there's this great new 2 CD release that some of you may not even know is out. The Switched On Volume 4, Electrically Possessed. It's a stunner. Thank you for allowing me to talk about Stereolab. I appreciate you hanging out. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and to ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.